Respect. It's not given, it's earned. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how you can command respect from anyone. Your friends, your family, your colleagues, even total strangers, using 7 powerful psychological secrets. These aren't theories. They are battle-tested, real-world strategies that work. Are you ready? Let's go. Respect isn't given. It's built. It's earned through every word you speak, every move you make, and every boundary you set. Starting today, I want you to commit to these 7 principles. Live them, breathe them, embody them, because the moment you do, the world will see you differently. And more importantly, you will see yourself differently. Now go out there and claim the respect you deserve. Speak less, say more. Have you ever noticed that the people who command the most respect aren't the ones who talk the most? They're the ones who speak with purpose, with intention, with impact. In every room, there's always someone who dominates the conversation, filling every silence with noise, thinking that the more they talk, the more influence they have. But here's the truth. Respect doesn't come from how much you speak. It comes from the weight of your words. People who speak less and say more understand the power of precision. They don't waste words trying to impress or over-explain. When they do speak, every word has meaning, every sentence has direction, and every message is crystal clear. Think about the most influential leaders, the ones who command instant attention. They don't ramble. They don't overcomplicate. They don't dilute their message with unnecessary fluff. They say exactly what needs to be said, nothing more, nothing less. And here's why this works. Human psychology is wired to value scarcity. The more abundant something is, the less valuable it becomes. That applies to words too. When you speak less, people naturally pay more attention when you do open your mouth. They lean in, they listen, because they know that when you speak, it actually matters. But if you're constantly talking, constantly explaining, constantly trying to fill the space, your words lose their power. They blend into the background noise. Now, this doesn't mean you should be silent all the time or refuse to engage in conversation. It means that when you do speak, you do it with purpose. Instead of reacting impulsively, take a second to think. Instead of filling every pause with words, embrace the silence. Instead of over-explaining, trust that your words are strong enough to stand on their own. When you master this, you'll notice something incredible. People start to respect you more. They start to value your input. They start to see you as a leader, not just another voice in the crowd. One of the most powerful ways to practice this is to cut the fluff from your communication. If you can say something in 10 words instead of 20, do it. If you can make a point without unnecessary details, do it. If you feel the urge to explain yourself repeatedly, resist it. Let your words have weight. Let them land. Because the moment you do, people won't just hear you. They'll respect you. Own your body language. Before you even say a word, people have already made a judgment about you. It's not based on what you think, what you know, or what you plan to say. It's based on how you carry yourself. Your posture, your gestures, your eye contact, your stance. These subtle yet powerful cues shape how others perceive you. And in the world of psychology, we know one undeniable truth. People respect those who exude confidence, control, and certainty. That starts with body language. Think about the people who instantly command attention when they walk into a room. They don't have to announce their presence. They don't need to demand respect with words. It's in the way they move, the way they stand, the way they hold themselves. Their shoulders are back, their chest is open, and their gaze is steady. They're not shrinking into themselves, fidgeting, or avoiding eye contact. They radiate presence. They own their space. And that's why people respect them before they even speak. Now contrast that with someone who slouches, keeps their arms crossed, avoids looking people in the eye, or constantly fidgets. What message does that send? It tells the world they're uncertain, insecure, or even intimidated. And if you look like you don't believe in yourself, why would anyone else? Respect isn't just about what you say, it's about how you show up, physically and energetically. One of the most powerful shifts you can make is understanding that your body influences not only how others see you, but also how you see yourself. Studies have shown that when you stand tall with an open posture, your body actually triggers a psychological response that boosts confidence. You feel stronger, more capable, and more in control. On the flip side, when you shrink, slouch, or close yourself off, your mind follows suit. You start to feel smaller, less significant, and less powerful. Owning your body language means becoming hyper-aware of how you present yourself in every interaction. The way you shake hands, firm, deliberate, and confident matters. The way you sit, upright and engaged rather than slumped and disengaged matters. The way you make eye contact, steady and assured rather than darting or hesitant, matters. These things might seem small, but they make all the difference. People don't just hear your words, they read your presence. And when your body radiates strength, certainty, and confidence, people can't help but respect you. Master the art of silence. Silence is one of the most powerful tools you can use to command respect. Most people are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill every pause, over-explain their thoughts, and nervously talk just to avoid awkwardness. But the truth is, silence creates space for power. It forces people to listen, to lean in, to pay attention. Those who master silence master control, not just over conversations, but over how they are perceived. Think about the last time you were in a conversation where someone spoke with absolute confidence. They weren't in a hurry. They didn't feel the need to justify or over-explain. They let their words land. And when they paused, it wasn't because they were uncertain. It was because they understood the weight of silence. That kind of presence demands respect because it signals certainty, composure, and strength. People respect those who don't feel the need to prove themselves with endless words. In high-stakes situations, silence is even more powerful. Imagine negotiating a deal or handling a conflict. The average person speaks too quickly, giving away too much information, often out of nervousness. But those who know the power of silence remain still, composed, and patient. When you pause instead of reacting impulsively, you take control of the situation. The other person starts to fill the silence, revealing their own thoughts, insecurities, or intentions. And in that moment, you gain the upper hand. Silence also makes people trust you more. When someone shares something personal or important, most people react too quickly, cutting off the other person's thoughts or jumping in with their own opinions. But when you hold back, when you listen fully and let a moment of silence settle before you respond, it signals deep confidence and respect. It shows that you're present, that you're absorbing what's being said, and that your response will be thoughtful rather than impulsive. Another critical aspect of silence is that it forces others to take your words seriously. If you constantly talk, your words lose their impact. But if you learn to pause, to let silence stretch just enough, people feel the weight of what you say. They hang on to your words because they know you don't speak just to fill space. You speak with intention, and that is how you command attention and respect without ever raising your voice or saying too much. Set boundaries without apology. Setting boundaries is one of the most powerful things you can do to earn respect, yet so many people struggle with it. Why? Because they're afraid. Afraid of disappointing others, afraid of confrontation, afraid of being seen as difficult. But the truth is, people don't respect those who let themselves be walked all over. They respect those who know their limits, stand by them, and refuse to compromise their values for the sake of pleasing others. When you set boundaries, you send a clear message. I respect myself, and I expect the same from you. This is not about being rude or aggressive. It's about self-worth. People will test your limits, whether intentionally or not. They'll ask for more of your time than you're willing to give. They'll push you into situations that don't serve you, and they'll expect you to bend over backward to accommodate them. And if you keep saying yes when you really want to say no, you're training them to take you for granted.
The key to setting boundaries is to do it without apology. So many people weaken their own stance by over-explaining, justifying, or feeling guilty about saying no. But if you truly believe in your boundaries, you don't need to apologize for them. You don't owe people a lengthy explanation for protecting your time, energy, or peace of mind. A simple, firm statement is enough. I can't take that on right now. That doesn't work for me. I won't be available. When you stand by your boundaries without hesitation, people take notice. They start treating you differently because they understand that you're not someone who can be easily manipulated or guilt-tripped into doing things you don't want to do. They respect you not just for what you say, but for the way you uphold your own standards. And over time, those who truly value you will adjust. They will learn that your time and energy are precious, and they will respect the limits you set. The most important thing to remember is that boundaries are not just about protecting yourself from others. They are about reinforcing your own self-respect. Every time you honor your limits, you send a message to yourself. I am worthy of respect, and I don't need to explain or apologize for prioritizing my well-being. And when you believe that, others will too. Speak with certainty and conviction. The way you speak determines how people perceive you. It's not just about the words you say, it's about how you say them. People respect those who speak with certainty and conviction because it signals confidence, authority, and unwavering belief in what they are saying. When you hesitate, use weak language, or sound unsure, others subconsciously question your credibility. They may not even realize they are doing it, but the way you present your words shapes how seriously they take you. Think about the last time you heard someone speak with absolute certainty. Their tone was firm, their pace was controlled, and there was no doubt in their voice. You likely believed them, even if you didn't agree with what they were saying. That's because conviction creates influence. When you speak as if you fully believe in what you are saying, others are more likely to believe it too. On the other hand, if you constantly use phrases like, I think, maybe, or I'm not sure, but, you instantly weaken your message. People don't respect uncertainty, they respect clarity and decisiveness. Speaking with conviction doesn't mean being arrogant or aggressive. It's about trusting yourself enough to deliver your message with confidence. Even if you are unsure about something, you can still communicate it in a way that commands respect. Instead of saying, I don't know, maybe we should try this, say, based on what I know, the best option is this. The difference is subtle, but the impact is huge. The first response sounds uncertain and invites doubt, while the second sounds like a confident, well thought out decision. Your tone, pace, and body language also play a huge role in how your words are received. If your voice is shaky, your speech is rushed, or your posture is closed off, it doesn't matter what you are saying, people will sense hesitation. But when you slow down, speak clearly, and maintain steady eye contact, your words carry more weight. Confidence is felt before it is heard. The truth is, no one is born with unshakable certainty. It's a skill that is built through practice and self-trust. The more you stand by your words, the more natural it becomes. People respect those who are decisive, those who own their opinions, and those who aren't afraid to speak their truth. When you speak with certainty and conviction, you command attention, influence decisions, and earn the respect of those around you. Give without expecting. True respect is not just about power, confidence, or presence, it's also about generosity. But not just any kind of generosity. The kind that earns deep respect is the ability to give without expecting anything in return. Most people give with conditions attached. They do favors and then wait for something back. They help someone and keep a mental scorecard, expecting the person to repay them in some way. This kind of giving is transactional, and people can sense it. It doesn't build trust, and it certainly doesn't inspire respect. What does? Giving freely, with no hidden agenda, no expectations, and no strings attached. When you give without expecting, you stand out. People notice it because it's rare. They can feel the difference between someone who is genuinely offering help versus someone who is only giving because they want something later. When you operate from a place of true generosity, people don't just appreciate you, they admire you. They see you as someone who is secure, confident, and abundant. They respect you because your actions show that you are not desperate for approval, validation, or reciprocity. You give because you can, not because you have to. The beauty of this mindset is that it creates deeper, more authentic relationships. When people realize that you are not keeping score, they begin to trust you more. They feel safe around you because they know that your kindness is real. And ironically, the more you give without expecting, the more people naturally want to give back to you. It's human nature. People are drawn to those who uplift them without ulterior motive. But giving without expecting is not about being a doormat. It doesn't mean you should give endlessly to people who don't value or appreciate you. It simply means that when you do decide to give, whether it's your time, your advice, your resources, you do it from a place of strength, not neediness. You give because it aligns with who you are, not because you are trying to manipulate an outcome. This mindset also shifts your own perspective on success and abundance. When you stop focusing on what you'll get in return, you start to see the world differently. You realize that generosity creates influence, that respect is earned not just by what you demand, but by what you contribute, and that the most respected people in the world are those who give not because they have to, but because they choose to. Control your emotions, especially under pressure. Respect is not just about how you present yourself when things are going well, it's about how you handle yourself when everything is falling apart. Anyone can appear composed when there's no pressure, no conflict, and no real challenge. But the people who truly earn respect are the ones who stay in control even when emotions are running high. They don't let anger, frustration, or anxiety dictate their action. Instead, they remain steady, composed, and unshaken because they understand that losing control means losing power.